Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, it is Friday already. We are ending the week here. I hope you're doing well. Just let me take out this music sound here. I think it's better now. So, as I was saying, it is Friday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week, and I hope that you will have some plans for the weekend ahead. So yeah, just try not to ruin your week on a Friday. And yeah, let's see. Let's get straight into the charts and see what's going to happen and what can we expect from price action. Honestly, well, yeah, as you can see here, Asia just dropped wildly to the downside. It found some support here at the end walk, as you can see here. I will just push this a little bit to the slide this a little bit to the right. And yeah, it really dropped here, formed a huge 4 hour fair value gap, which we are inside now. It found some support here down below. If you look into let me just check the 15-minute just to see if there's any SMT here, but no, there isn't. There is not an SMT in between ES and NQ here. After the drop, we started to retrace a little bit higher, but as soon as we touched the midpoint of this fair value gap, the big one, yeah, price really got rejected here to the downside, right at 8:30. Yeah, right at 8:30. So right now, price retraced a little bit to the downside here. It found some support at a 15-minute fair value gap, and yeah, I'm just waiting for I'm just waiting to see how price really will behave in the first minutes of the opening. We are still 3 minutes prior to the open, so I will probably what I would like to see probably on price is another grind to the upside, eventually being rejected around 8:30 open, forming some type of an SMT here with a NQ, displaced to the downside, eventually revert this bullish fair value gap and head lower until we take London lows and eventually Asia lows as well. So this is what I would like to see here on price. The bullish bias can eventually be maintained, but yeah, if we don't see any reaction here at the midpoint, then I will eventually change my bias to a bullish one because we still have some smooth edges here. As you can see here, these relative equal highs. We have smooth edges here around this top here, yesterday's top. And yeah, but if I see something bearish with some bearish inclination to the downside, I will probably take a short heading lower for London lows and eventually Asia lows as well. So just let me take a projection here of the last. Let me just check here. Here the last bearish leg, and let me just project it to see where price eventually is. So price really hit the minus 2.5 standard deviation here, as you can see. And since then, it kind of retraced back down until, yeah, -2. It's kind of earlier to see if price really wants to continue to the upside, or if we will have some kind of a bearish trend. But yeah, this is what I would like to see on price. It's price coming down right at the open, stretching to the upside, and then revert. Then I would take shorts. But if price really gathers some support here at the midpoint of the bearish fair value gap, then I would have to reconsider my bias, and eventually expect higher prices. So yeah, right now we had the 9:30 open as well already. So 9:30 open right here at the top. Remember that I've been telling you, um, whenever you have a straight move to a one-sided move right at the open, always be careful with the type of move. Yeah, price can eventually go straight ahead and yeah, do what it wants to do, but it usually it acts like a trap to gather some more longs, and eventually at some point we will see displacement to the downside, inverting all these bullish PD arrays. So keep in mind that eventually can happen. So yeah, keep that always in mind. So keep in mind that we will have 10 a.m. news as well. So 10 a.m. news, it's the university. Let me just check. University of Michigan sentiment preliminary. So it can eventually give us some kind of volatility. So keep that in mind. We have the presentation of the first presented fair value gap here. So not this one, because this is the 9:30 candle. So we don't have that into account. But yeah, right now I'm just waiting just to see if price really wants to keep grinding higher, or if it will reject and start to trade lower, I would like to see London lows acting as a draw on liquidity. These relative equal lows here. And we can eventually stretch until Asia lows as well. So, but if price really finds support here in the midpoint, above the midpoint of this fair value gap, and yeah, right here at the first presentation of the first presented fair value gap, yeah, my bias should be changed. But let's see. I really don't like how if you look into the 15-minute, you can see a lot of liquidity here below. This gathers a lot of liquidity. So keep in mind that everybody who's buying since Asia is making money. And whenever you see a trend line that clean, the algorithm tends to disrupt it and eventually take out the winners um, through their stops here. So keep that in mind. And yeah, act accordingly to that. Honestly. Well, we'll mark the 950 macro as well. So you already know that I tend to look for 950 to 1010. That action that usually happens. So this is the 4-hour buy side liquidity candle. And I will mark the other one, which is this low here. So here we have the sell side of this actual candle, this 4-hour candle here. Yeah. So let me just check here. Asia highs. Just let me, oops. Just let me be sure about where Asia highs are. So they are, in fact, here, right at the end wall. So price is really taking Asia highs now. Yes, they are. So that would be almost perfect. So a purge of Asia highs, all the buy side liquidity got purged, and then we just dropped to the downside. That would be great to see, but yeah, we still have to wait for eventually 950 or even 10, because there might be some volatility here, and I don't like to be in a position whenever there's a news market release. Mm, it usually tends to take out my position at my stop loss, even being correct with the direction of the market. So I might as well wait for 10 a.m. just to figure out what we really want to do. But honestly, at this point, there is the push higher right at 930. Price kind of range here for a bit. Then we got the push higher, which can eventually be some type of a manipulation to the upside. Let me just check the higher time frames here. Let me just check the 5 minute. Yeah, if you look into the 5 minute, it's kind of ranging here. This could eventually be the manipulation, and then boom, to the downside, the distribution. But I'm not sure yet, since I'm bearish biased. I need to see something more clear to the downside, because right now price is supporting above the midpoint of the 4 hour fair value gap. It touched the end wall, kind of retraced, but found support on the first presented fair value gap here. Yeah, I will wait and see how this develops. But if we get another run to the upside, taking out Asia highs, and then if we see some kind of a displacement to the downside and marking some shift in the structure, yeah, then I will consider lower prices, because right now we are already on a premium. So we are above midnight open, above 9:30 open, 8:30 open as well. Yeah, it can eventually be something like that. So just let me see the range. Yeah, we are in a premium right now. So it can eventually it can eventually be just a retrace, and we had lower. So on the OTE levels, yeah, we are right at the 75% of this down leg. But yeah, I need to see some clear bearish action first. Let me just check if NQ already took Asia highs. That would be interesting to see. Yeah, we stopped right below Asia highs. Yeah, price coming down a bit. At this point, we have an SMT with NQ and ES already. So this is an SMT here, kind of a small one, but still an SMT. So we are now trading below the first presented fair value gap, but I would like to see price eventually losing the midpoint of the 4-hour fair value gap, heading down below to 830, 930, because this can be just a retrace or another shot higher. Remember that price didn't took Asia lows as I would like to see it being taken, honestly. It's kind of a touch only. Yeah, looking at the into the 15-minute, I need to see a bit more of a bearish reaction here. Seems like we are losing the first presented fair value gap here. Yeah, I need to see a bigger reaction to the downside. Not liking how price is kind of holding it back here, right at the midpoint of the first presented fair value gap here. Would like to see some kind of a displacement to the downside, just in order to believe that we will go eventually lower. Just let me mark. This one should be too big of a range, but let me just see where this brings us. Yeah. Yeah, just taking some projections here just to have an idea where price can eventually go if we start to head lower. But so far, seems like ES is a bit heavier than NQ. They are not doing the same, so that's why I'm not pushing the trigger. I'm not pulling the trigger right now. Just holding, just to see if ES really wants to add lower, or if it's just a minor retrace. If you look into the 15-minute, seems like NQ is way stronger than ES. See, price was taking too long to get below the first presented fair value gap, and yeah, that's why I did not short anything here. In the meantime, NQ just made another low, another high, so now we have some type of a perfect SMT. We have about 9 minutes before the news driver release as well. Yep. NQ is still somewhere here, and if NQ does not lose that level, price might be doing something like this until the end of the macro. That's why I'm not triggering any position. We are already inside the macro hour, so 3 minutes in. In the meantime, NQ is just consolidating while ES is trying to get below the midpoint of the fair value gap here. Yeah, but NQ way stronger than ES, honestly. So let's see now if price really wants to go below 930 and 830. These can eventually act as a support level. We still have 6 minutes before news. It's kind of a tricky situation to interact before news, because the volatility can eventually take out the stop, even if you're right in what the market wants to do. Yeah, price closed right at 9:30 open, as you can see. I would like to see how it will treat that small fair value gap that we have there. Yeah, nice rejection here. So I guess the bearish narrative is in place. Now we just have to wait for some type of entry, and I would like to see it after 10 a.m. I hope that 10 a.m. does not bring us directly to to London low. I don't get. I don't think so, but it can eventually happen. Price continuing its way to the downside here. I'm just waiting for the news driver to really hit. We have about 3 minutes before the news driver. And yeah, seems like NQ is entering somewhere here. So ES is really heavier, much heavier than NQ, honestly. So so far 2 minutes before the news driver. So at this point, I will just zoom in a bit and eventually try to get an idea about where can we go in. Just let me check the higher time frames here, 3 minutes to 2 minutes. Let me check OT levels here. At this point, I would like to see them disrespected. Yeah, we are right at the base of it, so seems like they will be disrespected. So 1 minute before the news driver. And let's see if we will have some type of a big move to the upside. See, that's why I did not enter before the news driver. Now I would like to see if this really holds or not. If we close a bit below this fair value gap, yeah, I might take the short. See if we had opened some type of a short down here, uh, yeah, our stop loss would probably be in danger. That's why I waited for something to happen at 10 a.m. So price not able to get above 8:30 and 9:30. Let's see if it holds like this or if price really wants to start dig a little bit higher. Let me just check the 3 minute. It seems like price wants to run once again here. I will wait a bit. If not, yeah, but it seems like we are rejecting here 9:30 and 8:30. Yeah, time to short this. Oops. Yeah, not the best entry here. And at this point, I would like to see something heading lower, not digging to the upside. Hmm. So another touch here on this fair value gap here. And right now, doesn't seem like price wants to stop here. Let's see. I think the idea is correct. My stop is above the line of defense as well, so yeah, but looking at NQ is not that weak, honestly. ES is weaker, but NQ seems like it wants to run once again to the upside. That's why it seems like price action is trying to invert here. But I will maintain my main idea. Just giving some time and some room for the market to do its own thing and then eventually head to its destination. Yeah, at this point it seems it will not hold. Price is really struggling here around the opens. NQ is just ranging here, not giving us downside momentum, which we would like to see. That would drag ES down as well. Price is really struggling with the opens here. It's trying to get below, above, below, above. Um, well, and with this, we are 1 minute away from the end of the macro. So the macro not giving us the fuel to the downside that we were expecting. Price really struggling here with the 9:30 and 8:30 open. It's always tricky to open a position near these points. I've been noticing that whenever you open some type of a position here next to 9:30 open or 8:30 open, it really takes so long to develop. So right now, NQ heading lower. It made a new low. Let's see if we have some follow through on this. At this point, I would like to see um, this bullish 15-minute fair value gap being completely obliterated. I don't want to see it resist that much. I want to see a clean close below the 15-minute fair value gap. So as I've been telling you since the beginning, there's a lot of liquidity here. So everybody who's playing longs since last night, yeah, they're all making money. And honestly, the algorithm does not allow it to happen for a long time. So I guess whenever you have some type of a trend line like this, there will be a point where it will just the market will just trigger everybody who who have their stop positioned like in these swing lows, you know. So that's why I was searching for some type of shorts. Yeah, and right now I will just see how far can we go here. Looking into projections, I will try to be conservative with this one. Well, if I take the last swing, which is this one, and if I amplify it and try to project it, we can see that minus 2.5 standard deviation is right at event horizon. We can eventually consider this sell side liquidity here to be an important level since it's the 4-hour candle low. I will probably take some partials here. Um, but yeah, if we stretch them just like this, we can see that minus 2.5 standard deviation stands for Asia lows almost. So there's a lot of confluence here. Minus 1.5 stands for relative equal lows as the London lows. So yeah, I guess we will have some movement to the downside. But for that to happen, I need to see a close below this fair value gap here and these bearish fair value gaps being respected as bearish PD arrays. So I don't want to see price coming back here and do wild stuff here. I want to see price coming a little bit inside the fair value gap, but after that, retrace back down and move lower. So far, a permissible entry on the first percentage fair value gap. I would like to see NQ pushing lower as well. Just let me take a measure of the opening range. So opening range is from 930 to 10 to 930 to 10. So no, it's not like this. This is the 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of confluence as well. I'm just looking at the opening range projection. You can take an opening range projection from 930 highs or lows to 10 highs or lows. And if you look at the opening range, which is this one, and if you try to project it to the downside, you can see that minus 2.5 standard deviation is exactly Asia lows. Minus 1.5 stands for London lows. Yeah, there's a lot of confluence as well. So at this point, we just have to let the market do what it wants to do and do what it needs to do as well. We just need to trust the technical analysis and take partials whenever there's opportunity to do that. Let me just check here. I don't know if I will take partials honestly, because I will leave about 20% of the profit on a runner, so I don't know. So price trying to get once again above. Seems like NQ is pushing once again. Nice reaction. I liked when we do some price action like this, when you have a full green candle and then a red one comes and engulfs the last green one, it can eventually mark an important order block formation. So that's really nice for what we're looking for. So let's see if price really can get below this 15-minute fair value gap. I don't want to see this act as a support or trampoline to the upside. I want to see it dig lower violently. Notice that right below it we have the 15-minute, the event horizon, which can offer us um, some type of a support as well. Nice push to the downside here. So now I would like to see this fair value gap act like an inverted fair value gap. As soon as we come below it, it will start to act as a resistance to the upside. Looking at it in Q, and Q is still behind, honestly. I'm kind of afraid that we will form some type of an SMT if price really stays like this. But I will just let it run for a bit more. At this point, I think that it makes no sense for price to come back to that fair value gap. So I think I will protect my position or eventually mitigate some drawdown here. Yeah, I think I can take it like this. I could eventually put my position at break even, but I think that would be too aggressive. We have another fair value gap here. If I see that this fair value gap gets respected, I will probably put my stop at break even. So notice that the price was not able to close below this 15-minute fair value gap, which can, we'll move this to break even. I'm not liking how price is reacting here. Yeah, like I said, yeah, break even. I'm not liking how price is reacting to this fair value gap here. So that's why I took my stop to break even. Mm. Yeah, nice reaction here from this. This one is being inverted once again, but yeah, I'm not liking how price is acting hard here around this fair value gap here. maybe my stop was too aggressive. But yeah, price is not acting in a low resistance way, as you can see. Let me just check the 3 minutes. Yeah, not liking how price is trying to get support here at the 15 minutes. I would rather wait for something below it, because yeah, price can eventually go for another run to the upside, since a lot of people is now trying to sell. If this was a fast move to the downside, it would be way better. So rejection of this fair value gap here, rejection of this one right here. So I need to see, and I will demand to see a rejection of the 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes rejection, I will try to short it, honestly. Just let me check the 3 minutes. Yeah, that this is what I was demanding when price was here. Honestly, it didn't give it to me, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's see if price can do another stretch to the upside. At least I would like to see that happening. So another fair value gap here, right below event horizon. So let's see if we will have some follow through now. We are below the 15-minute fair value gap. We are right at event horizon. But it should give us the follow through that we need. Yeah, I have my stop loss above this order block on a 3 minute, so I guess I'm safe. The price taking a bit too long here. Thank you. Pushing to the upside now. We are retesting the 15-minute fair value gap, but honestly, it's taking price to the upside with a lot of strength. Yeah, it seems like price will try to head to the upside. It took, let me just check here. It took some of the liquidity here. I was expecting a lower liquidity. Eventually, this 4 hour candle low, the price really did not reach it. Let's see how this candle will act right now, because if we do not close below this midpoint of the the 15-minute fair value gap, I guess we are destined to head higher. Yeah, NQ is pushing higher. And I guess the stop will get hit here. Yeah, I was just looking for these relative equal lows here on London. Eventually a bit lower on Asia. Yeah, but price really came here. The 15-minute is still holding. We have event horizon here. And yeah, I told you guys that event horizon can sometimes act as support to resistance, and it really acted as a support here. Yeah. And here is the loss of the day. So one break even and a loss. Uh, yeah, so I guess the main movement here is in fact bullish. The bearish situation might be ended here. So uh, if we really can invert this one, the first presented fair value gap, I guess this fair value gap, I guess we will have higher. It kind of invalidated the bearish scenario. These candles here. So at this point, liquidity has been taken here. We had some type of a breaker, and I guess we will have higher since there's a lot of liquidity here on these highs. So yeah, the short, I guess, is invalidated right now. Let's see if we have a retrace here lower. Notice that we are right below 8:30 and 9:30 open as well. Yeah, so far they move to the upside with no stops. So price came right to this fair value gap here. Got rejected at 8 and 9:30. So now let's see if we will have some type of a retrace to the downside, touching this breaker that we have here. That would be interesting to see. It also, yeah, it also has a confluence with 50% of this movement here. And at this point, I will wait for something to happen here. Probably wait for some type of a retrace. And then I move to the upside. Or if it will just ignore it and continue to the downside. Now let's see if this bullish structure holds or if it was just a retrace to the upside. Right now, ES is trying to get inside the breaker. it reached for equilibrium. Yeah, the 62 got hit here and we moved below. It's kind of a tough call here, honestly. We got rejection at 8:30, 9:30. Rejection of this fair value gap here. A touch on the 62% here as well. Yeah, I guess these structures here will fail. I believe so. So right now, I'm just observing. I guess this bullish structure will fail since we got rejected here. We rejected the 62% as well, rejected 9:30 and 8:30. So I believe we will head lower. I don't believe this will hold. The only problem here is that we are in some type of a high resistance conditions, which can make things look a bit unattractive. The entries are messy. Let me just check the 3 minutes. So the 3 minutes is trying to invert that fair value gap here. Same thing on the 2 minute. Yeah, we are in fact here. Price is playing inside both OTE levels here, the 62s, as you can see. So this makes things a little bit more tricky. See prices pushing right now once again. Yeah, it kind of respected this breaker. So let me just check here. This last one, implied fib. Yeah, yeah, we came right at minus 2.5. Yeah, we came right at 2.5 here. I guess that was my fault not seeing this. Yeah, price is really pushing here. The bullish perspective here was correct. Honestly, I didn't take it that serious, but it is correct. So the breaker really held here. OT levels were respected as well, as you can see here. The 62. So now I'm curious to see if price really wants to move a little bit higher or not. It's trying to get support here at the 9:30 and 8:30 opens. Stretch this a little bit more here. So yeah, we are inside the macro as well. So I'm kind of missing this macro. And the macro is really doing its job, honestly. Was not I was not paying attention to the macro hours, honestly. Yeah, and we came back to the first presented fair value gap here. If we had to take a measure of, yeah, a measure of retrace, it would be nice to see it coming back to 50% of it. Well, and price is really pushing. So the bearish narrative got invalidated here, honestly. Um, it was right at some point. It was right at some point, but I was at least searching for sell side liquidity as a 4 hour candle low. It really didn't give us. Um, but yeah, it seems like we will have another run to the upside, and probably take out these highs here. Let's see if we can get a retrace here. It would be nice to see a retrace back at 8:30 open and 9:30 open. see if we can get the equilibrium of the range here. I'm not sure about it since price is now just inside these points of liquidity. But I guess the next point of liquidity here is buy side liquidity is 4-hour candle high. Well, at this point, it doesn't seem like ES wants to come back to retrace and retest this. I don't think price will do it. We are minutes away from the end of the macro as well. So first presented for value gap, we are back. And at this point, it makes no sense to have I mean the limit order. Also, for the unique way to enter this long was when price was here. I was kind of skeptical for a bullish move to the upside. That's why I did not engage with it. I identified it, but yeah, did not follow. Um, I honestly missed the 1050 macro, because if I had looked at the watch when price was here, eventually I eventually could believe that we were engaging in a move to the upside, since that was a clean event horizon retest here. And yeah, price is now finding support here at the first presented fair value gap. It would be nice to see price coming a little bit below, just to do some type of a retrace. Yeah, price really stopped here once again, coming below, coming above the coming above the first presented fair value gap. We reached 79% of the retrace as well. Yeah, I was just watching NQ and ES. What are they doing? If the price action is similar or not here at the top. And so far we have some type of an SMT in between, on the 1 minute, in between ES and NQ. But I believe that we will continue grinding to the upside. at this point, looking at the 15 minutes, the 4 hour as well, and even looking at the 1 minute, the 1 hour, you can see that, yeah, if something to the downside um must happen, yeah, it already happened. Honestly, it might be this down leg here. Yeah, price is just moving to the upside here, as you can see. Yeah, price really pushing higher. It will probably go for the end walk here. We have buy side liquidity as the 4 hour candle as well. So things are really approaching to those levels. So I guess everybody was waiting for a continuation on New York AM since we had a lot of um, liquidity here. But yeah, price didn't give us what we were expecting. And keep in mind, I said it before. Whenever price just reacts like this from the end walk, it might start a trend line, a trend movement, and yeah, that's perhaps what's going on here on a higher time frame. That's why the bearishness did not uh, show it as a move to the downside. Well, so let me just check here for how long are we in the stream. It will make 2 hours. I don't think I will catch anything before in about 15 to 20 minutes, unless price really gives us something here to work with. But I don't believe price may come to the midpoint of the 4 hour fair value gap. It might eventually come looking for a retrace here, but then head to the upside once again. So I don't believe the next 20 minutes or something like that will give us something to work with. So I might close the stream in the next couple of minutes here. I don't believe that's the place to be in a long as well, since it's a tricky spot here. I would rather find some entry down here. Well, guys, so I guess the week is done here. I don't think that we will see anything in the next couple of minutes. The stream is about 2 hours now already, so yeah, I guess I will end the day here. Um, yeah, this session was not the cleanest one, honestly. Eh, on the first position, I was too aggressive with my stop loss, and moved it to break even, not allowing price to come for another retrace. So yeah, could have been a bit more looser with a stop loss that would have allowed me to at least take some profits. But yeah, the second try here was, I don't know, looking into it in a hindsight perspective, I can see that I've messed up here because yeah, event horizon price was right at event horizon. We were moving out of a 15-minute fair value gap, which is always tricky whenever you have displacement coming out of a 15-minute or a high time frame PD array. Yeah, just give it a few more minutes before jumping into the first fair value gap. So as soon as I saw price coming once again inside, I knew that my stop would be eventually in danger. But yeah, then prices came in right at this fair value gap, and yeah, I identified the breaker, but I've not looked into the time. If I saw that price was here when it was 1050, I would probably convince myself that, okay, we will move higher. But I didn't do so. So I missed this whole move here, honestly. But yeah, and now price displacing to the upside, taking out buy side liquidity as anticipated when price was around here. Yeah, missed this long. This was the main trade of the day, honestly. And yeah, these shorts could have been, it could have been worked, but being bearish was not the main bias for today, and I was bearish, so it is what it is. So I guess Monday we will have another opportunity to work with the market and see what it really wants to offer us. So guys, thank you very much for being there. I really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed now, just hit the subscribe button, um, hit the like button as well. It will help, and it will gain some more engagement, and bring more people into the stream. So yeah, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for being here. Have a nice weekend, and a nice Friday afternoon. So thank you very much, and see you next Monday. Thank you very much. See you guys.